If you think you know many words, but when you want to speak, you can't use them, this video is for you. We all know that we need words to speak a language. If we don't learn words, how can we speak? You learn many words to expand your vocabulary, but when you want to speak, you don't know what to say or how to say it. Why does that happen? It is because you have a lot of words in your brain. If you see them in a text or if you hear them, you recognize them. You know what they mean. However, when you want to speak or write, or in general, when you want to communicate, you can't use them. So what is the problem here? The problem is that those words are passive in your head. They are not active. What is passive words or active words? In general, there are two different categories for all the words we'll learn. They are either active or passive. What is an active word or active vocabulary? Your active vocabularies are all the words that you know, and when you want to communicate, you can use them easily. For example, when you want to introduce yourself, like this. Hi, my name is Jack. I'm 22 years old from Canada. These words that I have used for introducing are active words because I'm always using them and I can use them fast when speaking. On the other hand, passive vocabularies are all the words that you have learned before. If you read them somewhere or hear them, you know what they mean. But when you want to speak or write something, you can't use them. Although they are in your brain, you can't use them because they are passive. There is a question, why these words are passive? Because students focus on learning more and more new words. If they want to buy a book, they ask how many words we can learn at the end of this book. But you know what? It is not about the number of words that you learn. It is about whether they are active or passive. You might already know a lot of words which are passive in your head. So here is a question for you. Which one do you think is more important for your speaking? Learning new passive vocabulary or learning how to activate and make active the passive vocabulary you already have learned? The answer is clear. Of course, it is important to have active vocabulary if you want to speak or write. But how can we do that? How can we activate the passive vocabulary that we have in our head? This is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to show you 4 steps that you need to take in order to learn new words and add them to the list of the active vocabulary in your head. To do this, you need to have your own personal dictionary or notebook. So you take a notebook and next time when you see a new word or hear a new word, write it down. Many students would stop here and make a long list of new words with their meaning. But will this help? Of course, if you want to learn new passive vocabulary. But if you want to make it active, you shouldn't stop here. You should go to step number 2. So what is step number 2? Step number 2 is write 2 or 3 sentences with the new words. Because it is important to learn new words in context. Why? Because in English language, one word can have several meanings and different usages. For example, imagine the new word is shift. Now, what does it mean? Look at these 3 sentences. Can you shift the table to the other side? Number 2, she shifted to 4th gear and drove faster. Number 3, she was on the night shift. In the first sentence, shift means to move the table from one side to the other side. In the second example, shift means to change. Shift the gear. When you are driving and you want to go faster, you need to shift the gear. Shift to 1, shift to 2, shift to 3, and then you go fast. You might want to go slow down. And you might shift to 2, shift to 1, and you go slow down. In the third sentence, she was on the night shift, meaning a period during the day that workers might work on the night shift or in the morning shift. You see that in 3 different sentences, the same word has 3 different meanings, and that is why it is important to see the word in context and to see how the word is being used in different sentences. Okay, we have written the word down. We have written 2 or 3 sentences with the meaning of that word to see the word in context. What is the third step? The third step is to write down some collocations with that word. But what is collocations? Collocation is a group of words that go together. For example, we can use adjective collocations like a day shift, a night shift, early shift, or late shift. These are some adjectives that we can use to describe the word shift. And also there are some verb collocations like to work in shifts, or to-do shifts. Then you can make some sentences by playing with the adjective and verb collocations. For example, if I want to use do shift and then the adjective early, we're gonna have I am doing the early shift this week. So we can see I'm using do, early, and shift. Actually, I'm using collocation now. Another example for to work in shifts. Doctors usually have to work in shifts. Or some doctors work in a night shift, others work in a morning shift. And now it is time for step number 4. Write a paragraph with the word that you have learned and its collocation. This step is very important in order to activate the word in your head. Here is a short paragraph that I have written using the word shift and its adjective and verb collocations. There is a clinic near my house. In this clinic, doctors work in shifts. Yesterday, I wanted to go to the doctor, but I couldn't because I was doing the night shift. I hate doing late shift. You can see by writing a very simple and easy paragraph, I can use all the collocations that I've written for this word in my dictionary. And the page of my dictionary for this word will look like this. The word shift with 1, 2, or 3 examples and a short paragraph, and this will be the page for the word shift in my dictionary. There is one important thing to remember, that learning never ends. There is no shortcut in learning. You have to make effort and spend time if you really want to learn something. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next lesson. Have a nice time. Goodbye.